Hey, true believers. Chris Mack coming at you with Teen Titans number 12. And this was an interesting read. The reason this book is so hot is it's kind of one of those contested things where people are saying this is the alleged first appearance of the Batman Who Laughs. Yes, there's the cameos appearance in Dark Days the Casting. Some people might say Dark Knight's Metal number 2. But for whatever reason, people are claiming this is like the first full appearance, I think, is what they're getting at. So it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. But anyway, this book, it's kind of one of those catch-22s, as was what I was talking about with Dark Knight's Death Metal, where there's a lot of reading, but it was like standing and talking. This one, what I like is, yes, it gets a little wordy, but it feels like it's pushing you along, kind of like a Claremont book. So we're in Earth Zero, and we see the Riddler just hanging out, and I like how we're just seeing crow, 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 crow from all the Robins. And this is the Riddler, so Enigma's like, what is that? And then boom! This is the alleged first appearance of the Batman Who Laughs. Same thing with the Robin Crows. And it's just a wonderful panel, how he's just standing there looking like Pinhead from Hellraiser. And he's just like, you're thinking that this is impossible. You see my height, my build, hear my voice, and you know who I am. You know I am Batman. But you also know that I'm not. You know that I am something twisted and wrong. And that terrifies you. So you come to find out with these tie-ins that the Batman Who Laughs is recruiting all the villains and giving them these cards that are made of nth metal, which is kind of the whole dark multiverse's creation was through nth metal, to sort of warp Gotham into their own twisted playground. And that's what Challenger's Mountain is, if you've read the main thing. Now, one thing that makes me laugh is the artwork is beautiful, but it's hard to sometimes take it serious because he's like, my metal cards forged with cosmic metallurgy. I know this is supposed to be serious, but there's just sometimes metallurgy. It's like Cleveland Browns. It's like Turry, metallurgy. But anyway, we're going to get past that. But I like how he says, I want you to make this into a world to a city that makes me laugh. And so you see the cacophony of madness that is about to ensue. Now this is what I meant where it starts to get a little wordy, because the Teen Titans are ascending upon Gotham because of Challenger's Mountain. So they want to help. Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman right after Dark Knight's Metal number 2 have just disappeared off the face of the planet, so everyone's trying to pick up the pieces. And so Robin is hit hard because his father is gone again. Because even though Rebirth kind of happened and New 52 happened, Snyder kept a lot of what Morrison wrote about with Batman R.I.P. and the return of Bruce Wayne and all that stuff. So this is essentially the second time that he thinks he's lost his dad. So it's messing with him. Now, speaking of New 52, I'm glad that the writer here kept Goliath. If you're not sure who Goliath is, check out, what was the run's year? It was 2015, I think. Yeah, 2015 run of Robin, Son of Batman. It was a run done, I think it was written and drawn by Patrick Gleason. And, he's one of the part of the Peter J. Tomasi team, because him and Tomasi like doing Superman or something. Oh, yeah. So Gleason doing this Robin, Son of Batman was a great, underrated story arc, in my opinion. So pick up those books. So here it gets a little wordy, but what I like is it's setting up each team's personality: Raven, Aqualad, Beast Boy, Starfire, and how Robin is feeling at this point. And then we kind of see why the Riddler was important, how he's using his card. And so Aqualad's like, give me a hand helping these people, because there's still people living in Gotham, even though this mountain has been erected. And so the people of Gotham are terrified. But Robin here is saying, this has to do with Batman, I have to go. So you open the panel, open the door, turn the page, and welcome to M.C. Escher's Nightmare. That is a great, surreal story. This book is aptly named Riddler's Labyrinth. And this kind of reminds me of that episode of the Batman the Animated Series where they have to go through the Riddler's labyrinth, for lack of a better word. But anyway, this is Benjamin Percy writing. He's the one currently doing X-Force and Wolverine over at Marvel. So I like the way he writes. He's been doing a really good job. I appreciate the way he works. Mirka Andolfo doing the art. Romulo Fajardo Jr. doing the colors. Corey Breen doing the lettering. Stefan Sejic, I love his artwork, doing the covers. And then here's everyone else working on the book. And then, of course, special thanks to everyone that's putting the metal together. But yeah, anyway. And so the Riddler is kind of starting to hound Robin. And what I like is, it gets a little wordy, but you're never standing in place. You don't feel bogged down because as the Riddler's poking at Robin, he's trying all these different doors and not succeeding. You get like a river of blood, like from The Shining, about to get launched into a bed of nails. So there's action, there's suspense, there's stakes. And that's where we lead into him being saved by Green Arrow. And he's saying, I've been trying to figure out my way out of here for hours. And Robin's just really poking him. He goes, well, keep trying. I don't need help from a second stringer like you. With that warm and snuggly attitude, I bet you got a lot of friends. I love Ollie. He just does not take crap from other people. So, the more vileness that Damian throws at him, he just throws right back. And that's great. It helps with setting up the tone of each character, too. And then there's this moment with like this zombie-looking Batman. And the artwork here by the team, just look at this noir feeling. It's just these deep shadows, jagged colors, really adds to I think I would have loved to see the whole book in this style. But nonetheless, I like the artwork overall. But I just think that would have been kind of neat to really help with the intensity and the severity of what they're dealing with. And then you get a cameo from the Suicide Squad, which at this point, I was okay with that because the Suicide Squad was fun when, wasn't Adam Glass? Oh man, I can't remember who at the beginning of Rebirth who was writing Suicide Squad. Don't ask me to remember because out the window. So Harley feels more like Harley. She's not doing all the holy kabloy, the macaroni like we've been going over in the other books. She's just poking. But I feel it's a little exaggerated, and I think that's what they were trying to go for with the new Rebirth and the New 52, is they were trying to turn her into the new Deadpool. So even though you kind of get moments of what feels like Harley, they get lost quickly. Like she's like, hey, I gathered up all your arrows, because Ollie's talking about how he was using them to try to find his way around the labyrinth. Harley, before she was a villain, she was a PhD doctor. She's smart. I don't think she would have been that dumb. So, c'est la vie. So they have this moment with the Riddler. I don't want to give that away. It's kind of an interesting read, so make sure to check it out. And then we get another moment with the Batman who laughs. Now he's talking about Edward and how he's disappointed with him. And then we get introduced to the first appearance of the Earth -22, Damian Wayne. And you see he goes, yes, Father. I don't know if he has a Smeagol voice or not. But in a way, he kind of reminds me of a Animal from Sesame Street. Just waiting for him to be like, Animal, beat drums! So anyway, I like to see what happens with him. And then what I like is as they're going to this next tier of the rings and the Challenger's Mountain, I like how there's this guy running. And he goes, Father? Not your father. Your brother. And so I like that Damian and Dick. I've always liked the dynamicness between them. If you haven't read Grant Morrison's first volume of Batman and Robin, oh, that is an absolutely amazing read. So anytime Damian and Dick are together, you're in for a good time. So overall, minus the importance of this being the first appearance of the Batman Who Laughs, it's a relatively entertaining read, and I wanted to share with anybody if no one's ever gotten a chance to at least read it. So Benjamin Percy, I like his writing style because, he was a novelist, And I think he started getting into comics. And so you can kind of see where the wordiness comes from. But again, no one's standing and talking like in that death metal issue that we went over. It's moving along. There's beats that push the story along so it doesn't drag. Like, I wasn't bored reading this, as where, like I said, with death metal, I fell asleep. I didn't mean to, but I did. So anyway, if you've enjoyed this, if you can, please first and foremost support your local comic shop and see if you can pick up a copy. I've seen the price of this increasing and increasing. So good luck. I have my fingers crossed for you, or hopefully you can find a second printing. And if you've enjoyed this review, we really would appreciate if you take a moment to hit like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you could possibly know. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that fancy little Titan bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, you guys will get notified. You can come to the channel, and we would love to hear your feedback down in the comments below or on our social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description below. So with all that said, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you all continue to have a bat-tastic day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.